Global Mech Limited, creators of M2 Wyvern, are back with a new design that will be the best accessory to any monster team. Positron is the perfect companion for attackers with big egos. It is here to stop enemies and make allies shine. Customer reviews say, make space for Timerion's successor. Positron is a metal control monster with possession and cooldown activation skills. His trait is hardened at rank 0 and it evolves, gaining status caster allies cooldown protection at rank 1 and blind immunity at rank 3. I believe that is swapped. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the allies cooldown protection is at rank 3 and the blind immunity is at rank 1. He has a unique skill set which doesn't include any attacks that deal direct damage. This is a great way to avoid the power of relics that are triggered upon damage dealt. With a single move, Positron can apply possession and activate cooldowns. With another one of his moves, he can remove positive effects and apply double possession. He also supports his team by removing negative effects or gaining area dodge. Finally, he can apply tortures like Drown and Nanovirus. And so let's actually get into the analysis of Positron. So alright, his power is 3234, which is honestly one of the poorest powers that we've ever seen, especially in the metal category. However, like it was mentioned before, all of his attacks deal absolutely no damage, so it doesn't matter if his power was 9999. He doesn't deal any damage whatsoever. His life stat is 33,779, which in the metal category is the 8th highest life stat. He's actually tied with monsters like Patient Cyber and Nitro Blaster, so that's a pretty good life stat considering he doesn't look like a monster that would be tanky. And then his speed stat, this is where he truly shines. He has a speed stat of 3531. This is tied with Wang Zhou and Patient Cyber. And in the metal category, this is the 3rd fastest speed stat. The only two monsters that have a higher speed stat than Positron, Patient Cyber, and Wang Zhou are Myrak, who has a speed stat of 3542, and Hopkin, the fastest of all metal monsters, with a speed stat of 3553, although Hopkin is more of a supportive monster, whereas Myrak is actually a denier. So Myrak continues to be the fastest denier, but then we have Positron coming in close. Alright, so let's get into talking more about this monster, specifically the trait. As I already mentioned, at rank 0 you have Hardened, at rank 1 you get the blind immunity, not the cooldown protection, you get that at rank 3. Status caster allies cooldown protection is phenomenal, especially in the metal category, right? We have Patient Cyber who can activate cooldowns. We have Timerion that can activate cooldowns. This is a really great counter, and not just in the metal category, but even when you look at other elements, right? Montezuma can activate cooldowns. Sunblast can activate cooldowns. There are so many monsters and other elements that can activate cooldowns. So having this monster from the beginning have that status caster, that really helps you out. And you only need to get him to rank 3. Good thing it's not rank 5 like some other monsters we've seen in the past. Anyhow, for relics, this monster can hold the banner and the mask, which I think are fantastic relics. Especially the banner, you can even utilize the charging banner. So if any of your ally stamina ever falls below a certain point, all of your monsters get stamina back. That is great. The mask, depending on what you have, this can be a healing mask, this can be a Talonese mask that gives everyone a shield. You have so much to utilize with the mask relic. In terms of books, he can be found in the Adventures book, the Families book, and the Mechanical book. And with that being said, let's get into his skills. We have Friendly Torture, 0 damage, 0 cooldown, so spammable, 22 stamina cost, applies nanovirus to all enemies. Straightforward nanovirus. Nanovirus prevents the enemies from applying positive effects to themselves. It also takes away a chunk of their life, not too much, but a little bit. A bit of water doesn't hurt. Next skill, applies Stamina Leak to all enemies, applies Drown to all enemies. Very nice. Stamina Leak and Drown will drain enemy stamina, and the Drown specifically will also chip away at some of the enemy's HP. This does have a 1-turn cooldown. Moving on, it also costs no stamina, so you can use it whenever you want, essentially. Unless your cooldowns get activated, but you only have to wait 1 turn. Next up is Cap Half Full, 50% chance of applying possession, 32 stamina cost, and it is spammable. So this would probably work the best if you had True Vision on your side, someone that could increase your accuracy. I don't think I'd recommend running it, but maybe this could have some usability in some of the live duels. So we'll have to see how that works out. But I do like the Drown and Stamina Leak and the Nanovirus. Moving on to tier 2, we have No More Injuries, activates all cooldowns on one enemy, applies Stamina Leak to all enemies. So it's one of those single target skills that also AoEs everyone. So specifically, I'll use Wormlad as an example. If you're facing Wormlad, you can deny the Wormlad by activating cooldowns, and you can also apply Stamina Leak to his teammates. That's pretty cool. Moving on, we have Out of Pessimism, removes all negative effects from all allies, applies Torture immunity to all allies, requires cooldown. See, I really like this skill because I think it is super important to have a skill that can clear all negative effects from your team, especially in the current meta, especially when some monsters have status casters that already started the game off with a negative effect, right? You're facing a Cell Lot, your monsters have Ignite. You're facing a Dragar, your monsters have Sunburn. Like, there's just so much that can go on in the game. There's so many torture effects that can be applied, right? We saw Drowned. There's Curse. Curse is so deadly, and no monster is immune to Curse. So what I really like about this monster is that you remove negative effects, you clear everything that's bad on your team, and then you give your teammates torture immunity. And this also really helps if you have some tanks on the team, if you have a Dunrob, Mephisto, anyone that relies on not getting hit with a torture effect, and they're going to be immune to it. This has a 2-turn cooldown and a 23 stamina cost. Moving on, we have Anti-Electron. Removes positive effects from one enemy. I like that. Applies possession, and applies possession again. Double possession. Very nice. So the reason this is really good is because if you're facing a monster that has a hardened trait, or a Bullrug trait, or anything in between, this is really good because you clear whatever positive effect they have, and then you have 2 chances to deny, and specifically possess, one of the better denies in the game, right? Because then that monster is going to waste stamina attacking himself, herself, or the team. So I like this a lot, right? Doesn't matter what the enemy monster has, doesn't matter if they have evasion. I've been saying this so many times now. Long are the days where Elvira shines because of evasion at the start of the battle. Long are the days where Ramtar shines because of skill mirror at the start of the battle. Even Ragnarok, whoever it may be, the random status caster, that doesn't really help out that much anymore, considering every single monster nowadays can remove positive effects and then do something. What I like about Positron is that he double possesses. That is great. This has a 2-turn cooldown and a 36 stamina cost. Moving on to tier 3, we have Beware of Timmy. Applies cooldown protection to all allies, applies area dodge to one ally. So cooldown protection, this will help against Timerion because the cooldown's activated, and anyone else that does cooldown's activated. So this is something you would apply after your status caster allies cooldown protection runs out. Although I think if you were to encounter a scenario where you were to face a monster that can activate cooldowns, you would probably want to take out that monster first. So I don't necessarily know if there'd be that much in need of this skill. I do like the secondary effect of applying dodge area. Dodge area can be very useful. And not just against deniers, but even if there's a really strong attacker on the enemy team, you don't have to worry about getting attacked with an AoE because your monster's going to essentially evade it thanks to area dodge. So I do like that. 2-turn cooldown and 28 stamina cost. We have Nakama Power, which removes all negative effects from one ally and restores all cooldowns of one ally. So it's a cooldown reset skill, and it is spammable, so that's pretty cool. It does cost a hefty 48 stamina though, but again, with a banner, like, you can give this monster a charging banner and you wouldn't have to worry about stamina. So let me think about that. Restoring cooldowns. I suppose if you do have another denier on your team or a very strong attacker, you can just restore that attacker's cooldown and have them attack and take out the enemy team, I guess. So there's that. The last skill we have is Nutrion gives me strength. Nutriano activates all cooldowns on one enemy, applies possession to all enemies, applies drown to all enemies. I really like this skill. Alright, so this is literally the perfect skill for taking on any team that has a dodge area monster. Again, I'll use Wormlad as an example. The problem with Wormlad is that if you do an AoE possess, AoE stun, AoE freeze, sure, you may get the allies, but you won't get Wormlad. And of course, it doesn't have to be Wormlad. It can be O'Reilly, it can be whoever, it can be a Helguden. The cool thing about this skill is that you literally activate cooldowns on that single enemy monster. So that Wormlad, that O'Reilly, that Helguden, bam, your cooldowns have been activated, you're not going to be able to attack, and then you still possess the allies. And not only that, you also apply drown to the allies. So the allies will lose a bit of their life, they'll lose some stamina, and they're going to use stamina attacking themselves or their teammates. That is awesome. This is a phenomenal deny skill. It goes without saying, that's a must-run skill. I seriously really like that, and it has beautiful synergy with Anti-Electron, because Anti-Electron removes positive effects from one enemy and then possesses. So keep in mind that when you possess an enemy monster, they're going to become immune to possession, immune to corruption, so you're not going to be able to chain possess. But thanks to the fact that you can use Anti-Electron to remove positive effects, you get rid of that immunity to possession, and then you can possess again. So you can actually chain possess with this monster. That is amazing. So you can single cooldown activated, AoE possess, and then chain possess on the following turn. But aside from that, you can also remove negative effects from your team and give your teammates a torture immunity. And you can also single cooldown activate another monster and stamina leak the whole team. Or if you want to jump into the tier 1 skills, you can also stamina leak and John everyone. Although I don't think that skill is really going to be that necessary, considering you have your tier 3 skill that you're going to be starting off the game pretty much every single game that already drowns. But maybe you can take that nanovirus to prevent positive effects on the enemy team. So from what I'm seeing right now, Gives me strength is a must-have. Anti-Electron is a must-have. And I would also say out of pessimism is a must-have. So that last and final skill is ultimately up to you. You can do no more injuries for another cooldown activated / stamina leak, or you can do the single ally cooldown activate reset if you want. Beware of Timmy potentially if you want dodge area, but I think I would gravitate more towards no more injuries, just because I like having another single target cooldown activated skill. And let's jump into the ultimate, because I completely forgot about that. I got too excited with gives me strength. Return to beta particles gives 100% of stamina to all allies, heals allies by 100%. So this is like Timmy's self skill, self ultimate, but now to your whole team. Restores all cooldowns on all allies. Yeah, this is basically Timmy's ultimate, right? But it's actually for your whole team instead of for yourself. But the added benefit is that you also possess the enemies. I like this monster a lot. Yeah, this is cool. I like Positron. And it goes without saying, this is the kind of monster that you give 3 speedruns, have him be your main denier, have him be your main adventure, family, mechanical, metal denier. He's amazing. He's really, really great. With that being said, guys, that's going to be my analysis on Positron. Now I want to hear from all of you guys. What do you guys think about this monster? Let me know in the comments below. I look forward to reading your guys' thoughts, and I will see you all next time.